favorite part of any holiday, really, is the desserts, right? So instead of making a full pumpkin pie, I'm going to make a bunch of individual ones because I personally love to feel special and get my own stuff. So what I'm going to start with is I've got a pre-sprayed down with oil mini muffin pan. And then I've got some puff pastry here. It's just store-bought. Don't bother making it on your own. It's cheap and it's easy. So I rolled it out a little bit because when you first get it, it's a little thicker than you need. And I've got a round cutter. And if you don't have a round cutter, cups, tracing around it with a knife, anything will work fine. So I've got this floured down because I don't want it to stick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out these little circles. And then I'm going to stick it in the pan like that. And I've got this little presser downer thing. Tell me this is not the most ridiculous kitchen tool you've ever seen. It's actually designed to do this. But you can just use your fingers if you're like me. So just push that down, and then you've got a little tart. And we are going to fill these with our pumpkin filling soon. So I'm going to finish up this and then teach you how to make that. Okay, so now we're going to start our filling. First we need 1 can of pumpkin, and not the pumpkin pie mix, just plain old pumpkin. We're going to plop it in all of its orange glory into this bowl. And then to this we're going to add 1½ cup of half and half. Now the recipe originally called for 1 cup of heavy cream and ½ cup of whole milk, but we're just going to use some half and half because that's what we have, and that's what this show is all about, is using what you've got. And it's going to be just as good. And then I have got 2 eggs. Now you can see I've cracked them in a separate bowl. And of course it looks pretty, but at the same time it makes sure that I don't put any bad eggs straight into my mix, which would be pretty disgusting and a waste of food. Then I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of vanilla, a little more, a little less depending on your taste. I love it. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon, both nutmeg and cloves, and then I've got an entire teaspoon of cinnamon for flavor, and then 3/4 of a cup packed brown sugar. Make sure that's packed because you want all of it. And I'm just going to whisk this together, and when we come back I'm going to fill up our tarts and we're going to put them in the oven. Okay, so I've got my oven preheated to 370. Now I've got it on 370 instead of 375 because my oven runs just a little bit hot. So make sure you know your oven when you're doing this. I'm filling up these tarts, and as you can see I've already got some of these done. I'm just using a ladle. You can use whatever you've got. Next up we're going to be making maple whipped cream, which I think is probably the best addition to almost any dessert. The whipped cream. Okay, so I've got my mini puff pastry pumpkin pies in the oven, and I've got them in there for 20 minutes, but I'm going to check them every once in a while and after that 20 minutes because my oven is very mean and likes to burn things on me. So now I'm going to get started on our maple whipped cream. And what I'm going to do is I've got about 1 cup of heavy whipping cream in a bowl, and I'm going to beat it to within 1 inch of its life. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to add my last cup into this. So now I've got 2 cups, and this is what you're going to be extra. I'm going to beat this the rest of the way until it's whipped cream and not any farther, otherwise I'll have maple flavored butter. Ooh, that sounds kind of delicious.